Hey, what's up, world, and welcome to the newest edition of the Take One Podcast, episode 62 to be exact. I am your host, August C. Jones, and today is going to be a light show. I don't really have too much to get on. Hopefully tomorrow or later on this week, whenever I do another episode, because I am planning on doing another episode. I have a little bit more to talk about, but I do have a few subjects and a few more episodes I want to touch on a few things or whatnot, but this episode is light. I kind of figure, basically when I'm writing my notes and figuring out everything, how long certain things is going to take. And I think this is going to be enough for this episode. So, yeah, so this episode, I'm going to be talking about the new Solo, a Star Wars story trailer. And then I'm going to be getting into the box office, as I usually do every week. So, let's go ahead and get into it. So, recently, the new Solo, a Star Wars story, which horrible title, but it's whatever. You hear it enough, it sounds fine. But the newest trailer 2 had dropped, and so what are my thoughts on it? I actually like it. The CG and digital effects and everything that's for it looks incredible. I have no doubt, even if this movie isn't good, that one of the things that's coming out of it is going to be the special effects, the visuals and everything. If it has great cinematography, it's going to be good. But I feel like this movie is going to look great. It's going to look great. I don't know if it's going to be Blade Runner 2049 great. It probably might be, but it looks incredible just from the trailers. Even from the first trailer to this trailer, it looks incredible. But in this trailer you saw more of Lando Calrissian up in here, and I'm not a huge fan of Star Wars. I'm not a person that can sit here and tell you that I've seen the original trilogy 50 times each and stuff like that, or I watch the trilogy every year, and it's like I'm not that type of person. I've seen all the Star Wars movies, from the episode 1 all the way to, and I'm going in chronological order. I'm from episode 1 all the way to episode 8, and Star Wars is fine. Star Wars is fine. I don't get too excited. I do get excited over the newer ones, of course. Episode 7, episode 8. And then I'm going to be excited for episode 9. And I was excited for Rogue One. And I am excited for this film. But I don't get too excited over, Star Wars and stuff like that. But in any case, from the little knowledge I know of Billy D. Williams, it's like, from what we got of a young Lando Calrissian, or I just say Lando because saying the whole name is just redundant. But just getting from what Donald Glover does with his character. Literally, I can hear Billy D doing the same, basically saying the same things in the same exact way. It's like, in a sense, he kind of channeled Billy D. Williams or whatever to play this role. And I'm just like, and it's so crazy because I've seen a lot of, Harrison Ford's, gosh dang it, Solo. The movie is named after him. His portrayal of Han Solo, and just seeing this new guy, I forgot his name, playing Han Solo, it's like, I guess you could say it's a new take. I can't really see Harrison Ford saying or acting the way he does in the trailer, but Lando, played by Donald Glover, yeah, I can see this. I can see him channeling Billy D for this role, and he did it really good. I feel like he's going to probably be a standout in this movie. I guarantee you that if this movie isn't going to be good, which I've heard reports that it has been good, it's like, I feel like he's one of the lights that's going to come out of this. I feel like people are going to be like, yo, he played this role good. He really channeled them. And he really played a good Lando. And I feel like people are going to come out of that. But I see we got a new droid up in there. I think it's L3. And then it doesn't really say too much about what this movie's gonna involve, but you already know that like Harrison Ford, not Harrison Ford, God dang, Woody Harrelson. You see the semblance, the similarities. But Woody Harrelson's character is recruiting Han Solo, and just for a mission, I guess, whatever. And he needs like a pilot and stuff like that, or something of that, thing. And Lando is going to be a part of Han's crew, and then Han is going to get, of course, he had Chewie and like a few other people to run the mission and whatnot. And this movie looked like it's going to be fun. This movie, I could say, it looked like it's going to have the more realness type flavor to it when you look at, I don't know, I guess you could say it has a dark feel, and it has a kind of like tone of, it's going to probably have a type of tone of Rogue One. And this looked like it's going to be real good. It looks like it's going to be real good. I enjoyed Rogue One. Rogue One, I saw that twice in theaters. It was amazing. I love Rogue One. And then this one looked like it's going to be good. I don't know if it's going to be great, but it looked like it's going to be enjoyable. It looked like it's going to have some good comedy up in there. Not too overbearing, but it looked like it's going to have some points where, it's very entertaining. But overall, I love the trailer. It looks awesome. I don't know who the dude is with the scars on his face. I'm not too deep into Star Wars lore. I don't know if I'm more than likely going to get an appearance from Jabba the Hutt. It hasn't showed him in the trailers, but he has a history with Han Solo, so more than likely you're going to see that. But overall, like I said, like the trailer, I enjoyed it. I am excited to see this movie. This isn't one of the movies that is on my top 10 most anticipated, but at the same time, this is a movie that I will be checking out when it comes out. So, yeah, that's really all I got to say about that. And so, moving on to the box office segment, in which I'm talking about the movies that came out this weekend, what topped the box office, and then talking about the movies coming out this week and what I think will top the box office. So let me start off with telling you my predictions from last week. So my whole, I had the top 5, what I think was going to be in the top 5. I thought A Quiet Place was going to take number 1. Ready Player One was going to be at number 2. Blockers at number 3. Tyler Perry's Acrimony, number 4. Hey, I got it right. And then Black Panther was going to round up the top 5. But I was mostly right, as A Quiet Place took the number 1 spot with 50 million this past weekend, which brings his world total to 71 million. Ready Player One did take number 2 at wow. Okay, okay. Ready Player One took number 2 at the weekend box office with 25 million, which brings his domestic total to 96 million and his world total to 391 million. And Blockers did take the number 3 spot with 21 million, which brings his world total to 32 million. But Black Panther took the number 4 spot with 8.4 million, which brings his domestic total to 665 million, and its worldwide is still at 1.2 billion. That's crazy to say. But then rounding up the top 5 is I Can Only Imagine is staying in the top 5. That's crazy. And which basically rounds it up with 8.3 million, which brings his domestic and world to 69 million. Yeah, so I was kind of wrong on that one. So Acrimony didn't stay in the top 5, which I thought that was going to be one of the things, but yeah, it didn't. And I'm not sad about it because it went from number 2? Yeah, I'm looking at it, number 2, and then it just fell off the top 5. It did. It fell off the top 5. Like, that's crazy. I don't know. Man, I mean, because the movie was good. It was just, I don't know. It just, I don't know. Anyway, but then another movie that came out this weekend, Chappaquiddick. Yeah, I got the name right. I kept messing up on the name. Chappaquiddick. It came in at 6 million. It's basically didn't hit worldwide or anything, or international. So it's just basically it's just 6 million. And then Miracle Season did the same at 4 million. Didn't hit international. So everything from this weekend, domestic and world, is all 4 million. So that came in at number 11. Yeah, I say Chappaquiddick came in at number 7, and then 7-11. Yeah, so Chappaquiddick came in at number 7, and then the Miracle Season came in at number 11. Which I didn't think that the Miracle Season was going to be in the top 5. I would have been surprised if it did, but I didn't expect it to do it. And then Chappaquiddick, that was one of the movies where I thought that maybe it probably could have made number 5. It was like I had it in my mind that it possibly could be in the top 5, but I don't know. But I mean, it didn't make it, so I mean, yeah. But what really stands out is A Quiet Place. This movie did crazy numbers. It was a great film. I did enjoy it. I'm gonna have my review up soon. I know I keep saying that, but dealing with a lot of stuff, but I plan to have that up soon this week. And then Ready Player One took the number 2. It was like I expected that to still be at the top. Ready Player One was a really, really, really great movie. I enjoyed that one. Blockers, I seen that too last night, and I enjoyed it. I really did. I didn't think it was gonna be as good as it was, but I really did enjoy it. From the beginning to the middle to the end. Like, that movie is really awesome. And yeah, it did what I kind of thought it was going to do. I didn't think it was going to dominate, the box office or anything, Blockers. But, it's right where it should be, It was a great comedy. It was a great comedy. It didn't really have me like just, like laughing out loud. But, it is what it is. But yeah, that's really all I gotta say about this weekend's box office. So let me get into what's coming this week. And what's coming this week is that you guys already know one of the big movies that's coming out this weekend involves The Rock, which kind of weirdly, one of his movies just got out of theaters. In certain theaters, because it still wasn't worldwide. It got reduced, but Jumanji 2 was still in theaters all the way until about, like I said, a week or 2 ago. And that's so weird. It came out in December. And then it came out on DVD like a few weeks ago or about a month ago, and it was still in theaters. You still can catch it in certain theaters. So I found that was kind of weird. That's the first time that I've ever witnessed that. I don't know if that was the first time in history that has ever been done. As far as, a movie constantly standing there. I'm not talking about it being on DVD and then come back out to the theaters like years later, like Titanic last year or, whatever. I'm talking about like staying constantly in theaters from when it opened all the way until, it just completely takes out of theaters, but still is on DVD while it's still in theaters. Like, that's the first time I've ever seen anything like that. But since we got rid of that, I think it was kind of like getting hype. The movie did really well, better than what I expected. And then they was like, okay, let's try and keep it in theaters all the way into Rampage. That way, if people don't get enough of The Rock, then once they get done seeing it, they only got to wait a couple weeks before they see Rampage. So Rampage is coming out this week. And then on top of it, Rampage is a video game movie. Like, I don't think a lot of people realize that. Yeah, I had to stop and take a step back, and I'm like, Rampage is a video game movie. Yeah, so it will qualify along with the Mortal Kombats and the Tomb Raiders and Assassin's Creed and Warcraft and stuff like that. So we're gonna see how this fare. I enjoyed Tomb Raider this year. It was one of the better video game movies to me. It wasn't the greatest, of course, but we're gonna see. It would be crazy if Rampage turns out to be really good and it's like the best video game movie throughout the consensus. So I don't know, but of course it's about just you know just something falling from space, and it ends up affecting these animals and turning these animals really big, and so yeah, you got monsters. Well, you got giant animal creatures like just terrorizing the city and stuff. So it's a big monster film, a big action film, popcorn movie. I expect to be enjoyed. I expect to be enjoyed. It looks like it's gonna be crazy. But then you have Sergeant Stubby, an American Hero. This is a movie that I'm more than likely may end up taking my son to go see. I don't know. I may end up. I really don't know. It's a movie that just crept on. I wouldn't have known about this movie had I not been doing this. Just looking at the movies that's coming out in the weeks and stuff. Yeah, I would not have known about this movie. But yeah, so this movie is coming out just about a dog in the army, or that belongs to a guy that's in the army. So yeah, this is a movie that I don't know if it's gonna do that well. I doubt if it's gonna do any type of numbers, but it's a movie that if you don't see any other movies to take your kids to go see, which Isle of Dogs, wow, Dogs of Isle of Dogs, I think is expanding this week into more theaters. So, if you want to take your kids to go see any movies or whatever, I think Peter Rabbit is still out there, but also you got Isle of Dogs, and then you got this movie, Sergeant Stubby, to take the kids to go see. So just go ahead. I haven't seen Isle of Dogs, but I definitely do want to see it. My son wants to see it as well, so we might make a trip to go see that. And then the last movie that's coming out this week is Truth or Dare. Truth or Dare, just a movie about a deadly game of Truth or Dare being played by some teens, and they have to more than likely figure out how to get out of this game because it doesn't stop until everyone is dead. And this movie, it could be good. I'm a horror fanatic. I love horror films. If you've been listening to my movie reviews or watching my movie reviews, or if you've been listening to the podcast, or if you just know me personally, I love horror films. And this is one I'm definitely trying to check out. But I don't know. It's the one thing that's setting me off about this movie is, for one, it looks like a movie that was just made because the studio needs to make money. Two, the things that's throwing me off is just the smiling. It's like, of course, I haven't seen the movie. I don't know the context of just the smiling and, just the Grinch smiles on the, faces of the players or whatever. But it's like, hopefully it has a good reason as to why that's happening. But if it doesn't, then it's going to throw me off. But I don't know. I don't think this movie is going to be good, but I'm going to go in and just let it just take me, and just hopefully it's good. Hopefully I come out and be like, yo, that was pretty decent, or like, damn, that was a good ass movie. But I don't think it's gonna be better than A Quiet Place, but we'll see. So with that, here is my predictions for this weekend that I think will top the top 5. So I think that Rampage, without a doubt, is gonna more than likely get the top number 1 spot. I think so. A Quiet Place did, cause a lot of noise. Pun intended. I guess you can use it in that type of sense. Anyway, so A Quiet Place made a lot of noise this past weekend, but Rampage is a big enough movie. It has The Rock up in there. Names don't really bring people to the theaters like it used to, but still, a lot of people like The Rock, and then you get him in the action film. I think it's going to do numbers. So I think it's going to take the number 1. A Quiet Place is going to be at the number 2. Truth or Dare, like I said, I don't have too much faith in it. I think that it's going to be at number 3. I don't have too much faith into it. It may be number 2, but when you got A Quiet Place out there, and this is only going to be the second weekend, and A Quiet Place has been proven to be good, I don't know if it's gonna be don't know if it's gonna get knocked down to number 3, but I think Truth or Dare is gonna come in at number 3. Ready Player One is gonna be at number 4. Rounding off the top 5 is going to be Blockers. I will be surprised if Black Panther end up being number 5, but I doubt it. Black Panther is at 8.4 million. I think it's time on the top 5 is done. Even though it's at number 4, I don't think it's gonna be in the top 5. I don't think it's gonna be even at top 5. I'd be surprised if it was, but yeah, I think that's what it's gonna be. So number 1 is gonna be Rampage, number 2, Quiet Place, number 3, Truth or Dare, number 4, Ready Player One, and number 5 is gonna be Blockers. Those are my picks for what's gonna round off the top 5 of box office of this coming weekend. And yeah, that closes out the show for today. I'm going to have more, maybe 1 or 2 more Take One podcasts later on this week. And I'm going to be trying to put out more stuff this week for you guys, movie reviews, etc. And I'm going to be trying to do some new stuff too. So hopefully I can get that out to you this week. And yeah, so yeah, that's it. So thank you guys for joining me, for listening to me talk about stuff that I wanted to talk about. And go ahead, get us a likes up, and get us a thumbs up, and subscribe if you haven't, and turn your notifications. That way you'll be notified for anything that appears on my channel. And everything else is in the description below. And I will catch you guys on the next episode of the Take One podcast. Peace out.